Hey guys, we are back for part 2 with my lovely bride, Lacey.
Yes.
And where we left off last time, we were just talking about in your timeline, it's 2017.
Mm-hmm.
You have a newborn, Rock. You got 2 toddlers, Raider and Ford. You have brought into this country an au pair from Brazil, Talita.
Yep.
And you have a thriving, growing art business. And you've literally just purchased the home from your ex-husband. So it's you, a Brazilian au pair, 3 little boys, a mortgage, a minivan, and it's all on you. Like you're pulling up your big girl pants and carrying the load. And man, let me just say, I don't know a single other woman that's done that. I know that they're out there, but I have not met the woman that's their story. Mm. And y'all, I'm telling there's no help here. There's no outside financial help. It is literally you taking care of your entire family. And so kudos to you for that. Mm. It's a pretty amazing. So now at this point, I know I mentioned, I had kind of like a little cameo in the story before in 2016 as your contractor. And then we don't ever talk again. It's months and months and months. And
I'm going through all my legal. The year's hard, but it's like this is the year we are going through.
Yeah, you're trying to get the divorce finalized,
and the custody and the child support.
Yeah,
and
mediation after mediation,
inventory of the house, like everything. I had no idea what was all included, and I thought you could just be like, "Oh, we're getting a divorce, and we're done in 2 months." No big deal.
It is a complicated.
It went on and it went on and went on, and it was extremely complicated and very difficult. 2 mediations.
So not only have you pulled your big girl pants up and you're running your entire household, you're also having to navigate that
which is
simultaneously.
That's so emotionally hard.
I don't know how you did it, babe.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
one day at a time.
I
always tell people, just one day at a time.
So I want to talk about, so you eventually get the divorce stuff settled out, right?
Yeah.
You kind of, and now you're settled into a new norm.
Yeah.
New life rhythms. And at some point you're like, I guess I'm going to start dating.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the awkwardness of dating post-divorce in your 30s. Because we both went through this, right?
I mean, you just feel like I felt like I was going through rush again. It's like you sit down at dinner and, kind of tell your life story.
In an hour.
Yeah. All the good things, but then you also are I don't know, I had some I didn't want to date a guy that had not been married before.
So let me say this. You know some things.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. I said it's awkward, but the beauty of it is you know some things after you've already been through one marriage.
Yeah. And
you've lived some life and you know yourself in a way that you didn't know yourself in your early 20s. So, so tell me what did you know you wanted or needed? And feel free to describe me in perfect detail.
I probably didn't know, but I'm just, again, I'm kind of drowning. But yeah, just going on the dates just kind of felt like, you're in rush, kind of sharing your life story. But then you're both empathizing with each other's sad story of divorce. And it's like, how do you share your story without talking horribly about, the other person? And, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. Dating,
it's hard
in your 30s.
It can be discouraging.
Post-divorce is hard, and fun to get out and have dinner and whatnot. And there's kind of a new freedom in a way. It was certainly very odd and weird. And
you're literally nursing a baby.
Yeah.
During the day.
Hold on.
And going out on dates at night.
It was so messy. But
I
did have a group of close friends, or they became really close friends. It turns out I was the first, but then there was a couple of the girls. Yep. I guess it was that season of life that were also then now walking through divorce. And so we just became a really tight-knit little group. And we would go out together as girlfriends. When you're now in a new rhythm that occasionally your kids are not with you.
Yep.
That's hard. You know, the first time your kids are not with you.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because you never plan for this when you have kids. You always expect you'll always have your kids. And then you're trying to navigate a divorce decree. Mm-hmm. and mediate and figure out how much time the other's going to get and you're going to get, and you feel very possessive over it. And then no matter how it plays out, you still feel like you've lost something.
Yeah.
You've
It's
lost
always a
weekends
lose-lose.
or you've lost every other
there's
week.
never,
It's always, there's always a loss.
Yeah.
But then what people don't really talk about though is like life has this way of you find this new rhythm. And so at least for me, I was hyper present when I had my girls. I was just full on dad. And then when I would give them back to their mom, I was hyper present in my work and in my friendships. But like, so I had kind of like, it's almost like I had two lives that were, you know, and it especially early, I eventually ended up with full custody of the girls. But back when I didn't have full custody, they were with their mother more than they were with me. So my rhythm was more like that, where it was more like 2 days a week.
Yeah.
They were with their
dad. It wasn't
dad.
as much, but
during those times, you were able to foster some friendships with girls that were walking through the same thing as you.
I would rest and then work and rest. Because it was like, I would try to use it. I just had to look at it as an opportunity to like do the things that I couldn't do while they were with me. It's like a built-in babysitter. It's like, thank you. But yeah, so I had to find the wins with that, you know, for the first few times it was super difficult, you know, or if he is the kids when it's like their birthday or something, or all those firsts are really, really hard at the beginning. But, you know, divorce is it's not a, you know, light decision. And we've come across people where we're like, I mean, you have two options, you know, you can either stay in the marriage and work on the marriage, which is going to be hard, really hard with whatever they're going on. Or you can choose divorce. And it's also going to be extremely hard. Really hard. Like, it's not an easy path.
We always say choose your hard.
It's choosing your hard.
Because there is no easy way out.
None of it's good. And that's why God says he hates divorce, because it's just messy. It's not.
He doesn't condemn it.
Yeah, it's just.
He just hates the collateral damage that it causes.
Because it's a lose-lose. It's just nothing is good about it.
But that's such good wisdom. I want to repeat that. If you're in a position where you're trying to decide whether or not you should leave your spouse, you should know this, that it's going to be really hard either way.
Yeah.
If you stay, it's going to be really, really hard. And if you leave, it might actually be harder. So if you think you're going to greener pastures, that's not a guarantee. And I do want our story to give people hope, but I also can't guarantee people that there's a Lacey on the other side of that decision. For me, it worked out that way, but I don't think it always works out that way. So you have to make that decision understanding that whatever path you choose is going to be really, really hard.
It's true. It's very true. It still can be hard.
Yeah.
For you know.
It's still hard. I mean, our unorthodox setup is difficult. I'm deeply in love with you and we have so much fun together, but it's hard sometimes. It's a grind sometimes, raising all these kids together.
Instagram looks great. I know it's fun, all the pictures, but there's still some hard things. But
so now let's talk about me and you. I'm ready for myself to be inserted into this story. So we reconnected months later after your divorce stuff kind of was settled up, because you texted me. I don't remember the details, and probably the details aren't important, but you had some kind of legal question. And I think somehow it had to do with the divorce decree and the house and the construction on the house. So anyway, it just made sense. I was the person that could answer the question. And so you texted me, and I remember seeing your name pop up on my phone and thinking, why is Lacey Russell at the time was your name?
That's right.
But Simmons has such a better ring to it, baby. But Lacey Russell texted me, and I remember thinking, why is she texting me? And so you asked me a question. I said, okay. And then somehow that question led to another question. And then maybe it was several weeks later, you asked me a question about your divorce decree, because you knew I'd been through a really messy divorce and just thought maybe I'd have some insight on how to word something or structure something. And very, very gradually...
You were the only person I knew. But I mean, I didn't know you. But like...
I was the first person I knew that went through a divorce, really. Maybe one other person. I was like the first... Now it feels like I'm the first of many. I feel like we have people all around us. But yeah. So... but... those questions very, very slowly and gradually kind of turned into an ongoing conversation and just a friendship. And I'll be really honest with you. I didn't think I had a chance with you. I really didn't. I was like, I mean, yeah, I know she loves my sister, but I'm the contractor that shut his business down while you were 7 months pregnant.
You felt really bad about that.
Your husband. Yes. I feel like I'd added a stress to, and I didn't know all that was going on when I made that phone call, but I thought, man, I'd added stress to this girl's life. And I just didn't, anyway, I just never would have imagined. But somehow in our conversations, I think of the Dumb and Dumber line, so you're saying there's a chance. So I felt like Lloyd Christmas.
So like that was your moment.
Yeah, I think I got an opportunity here. And so the friendly text conversation, and y'all, I'll tell you something. It was kind of like a modern day version of back like during World War I, where like the soldiers writing love letters back and forth, from a distance for months and months without seeing each other. We texted for a few months without actually seeing each other or even talking on the phone. We just built this banter through text. And let me just tell you something. You grilled me.
Oh, I did.
I mean, by text. She grilled me because obviously you had your guard up because you had been
so nervous,
swept off your feet in the past.
Yeah.
And then kind of found out there were other things there that you didn't know were there. And so obviously you had major trust issues.
Yeah.
So y'all, this girl, she was so bold. She's like, okay, how many people you slept with? Okay. You look at pornography? Okay. I mean, like, she asked me questions I had never been asked.
Question.
Like, how much do you drink? How often do you drink? Do you do drugs? Okay. I mean, just literally she wanted to know every dirty detail of my life. And I was so broken and I was so done from the messiness of our marriage.
You were in a spot. Let's just talk about where you were. Yeah.
I was just like, I want someone to accept me, warts and all. Instead of trying to pretend to be Mr. Perfect, I want someone that loves the very worst version of me. So I was as bold in my answers and honest as she was in the questions. And there was just this freedom there that I'd never had that in a relationship. I always felt like I needed to present or perform in my relationship and perform to a standard. If I don't meet the standard, I'm going to get punished.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to just be transparent and really vulnerable and then receive grace and understanding and acceptance on the other side of that was really, really relieving. And let me just clarify, like, it's not like there were major skeletons in the closet. Like neither of us had like super crazy out there stories from that regard. But even the stuff that I have been guilty of or have been ashamed of, to be able to talk transparently to a female that I'm attracted to about that was very, very new and refreshing. So thank you for continuing to be that space for me. It's really powerful. Okay, so moving on from texting, and then let's talk about, so people always ask them, so when did y'all, like, how did y'all meet back up? So I was out with my best friend.
And I was with my little girl group friends.
Yep. Sorry, Scott. I'm talking about Jason in this context. Scott thinks he's my best friend too, and that's okay. I love both of you, but this time I'm referencing Jason if you're watching this. But Jason and I are hanging out, and Lacey happened to be out with a group of girls. Yeah. And one of the girls that Lacey was with texted Jason and said, hey, I'm with a group of girls. You're with Jeremy. Like, y'all should meet up with us. So I walk into this place.
And I didn't know who was all there.
Yeah.
Either. Yeah.
So I walk in this place and there is Lacey Russell.
There you are too.
But it's wild because we've been texting.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing because we'd built all this momentum of friendship.
Just getting to know.
By text. I feel like I knew you really, really well. And I literally had not heard your voice in probably a year.
Yeah.
Or longer. I mean, it is
true.
Wild. Mm-hmm. And so then we run into each other. But that momentum that had already been created, it's like somebody just poured gasoline. Yeah. There was a match and a can of gasoline and a pile of wood, and it all just converged. And it was pretty, sparks flew, emotions ran high. She actually talked to me, man. It's another movie quote. Yeah. She doesn't always get my movie quotes. But back to Dumb and Dumber. I'm sorry. But so anyway, I ended up driving you home that night, and we started dating after that. So let's talk about this. so my story is really messy.
Yeah.
And not really the story of like my behavior over the years, but my divorce
story
was really, really messy. And I came under a massive amount of false accusation. And the false accusation was really grotesque and multifaceted. It wasn't like just one thing.
No, it was
kind of like I was accused of pretty much every vile thing that you could imagine, and spent years defending it in court. And so I can admit that, you know, before that, I felt like I had a really, really good reputation. A lot of people that knew me and respected me. And then by the grace of God, it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I walked through all that, which helped me kind of lay down that idol of my reputation and my good name. And so there were people out there that still, even after all the dust settled, you know, believed the things that had been said about me. Yeah. So when you start dating me, you're not just dating this new guy that's perfect on paper. Yeah. You're dating this guy that a lot of really terrible things have been said about him. Talk about that. Like, how did you sort that out?
I went very slow. It was, you know, again, I knew your sister. So, and
you'd already grilled me by text for like
I grilled you by text
a few months.
And I knew,
but I could have been lying.
Loved your sister.
You know?
Yeah, you could have been.
I could have been just totally.
That doesn't mean anything. I mean, yeah, it's like, okay, sure. You know, I hear you. You know, I'm gonna hope that's the honest answer or not, or you know, you were just being honest, which was ultimately my biggest concern. Or just no lies, please.
Right. And perfection was not what you were looking for. No, honesty was what you were looking
honesty. For. And and so I just really wanted to get to know you as a person. And I feel like in my first marriage, or a lot of decisions in life, take marriage out of it. You know, I'm a middle child. I can be a people pleaser for other people. I really weighed most of the decisions in my life growing up. I weighed heavily on what my peers said, what my parents said, what my sister said. You
relied on other people's opinions to help you make
and that would really...
Not your own wisdom.
Not my own wisdom, not my own thing. And so I was in a season of life of like, I am, you know, chose to get this au pair to live with me. You know, I made the choice to get a divorce. You know, I made the choice to start this business or whatever. And I love the kitchen. I made the choices for the kitchen and I love the kitchen. I was building my own at 30, you know, finally this like, I'm making good decisions. Yeah. I'm managing my money well.
You're building a track record that you yourself can measure and go, hey, I can trust my own inner compass, my inner voice. My inner voice. Yeah.
You know, I was saving money. You know, we had no savings prior to anything, you know, and
you saved an astronomical
my brother-in-law
amount of
told
money.
Me, you know, you should put this money away for taxes and this way for savings. And, you know, came back a year later and he goes, well, you actually did it. I'm like, well, yeah, you just tell me to do it. You know, I'm very black and white here.
So as you're making these decisions, now you come to me and I always joke.
So just dating in general and you were there. Now we're
here. And
I
always joke that I'm high risk. I was high risk, high reward. Yes, yeah. So it's like, she bet it all on black. Like, I think this is going to work out.
It was just complicated because like there were so many people that knew you back in the day that were like, oh, he's an amazing guy. But then there's also this like horrible divorce story. With these false accusations that I, you know, and I honestly didn't know what to believe. Because
if they were true, I should be in prison for the rest of my life, kind of accusations. Right. Like bad.
But even just from the first marriage, it was just like, I didn't know what to believe.
Yeah.
Because I
and like they say, where there's smoke, there's probably fire. So like, is there some truth?
Right.
To what have been said?
So I was very, very cautiously doing that.
But you said my sister was a big part of why you believe my character.
I met her years before. I never knew her either, but then years before I met you, and I just trusted her too.
And now let me just say, like, my sister thinks so highly of me. You would think I went to Harvard Med School, that I have a genius IQ, that I walk on water. Like, my sister adores me. Yeah. But in hyperbolic fashion.
But I also knew that didn't mean anything, you know? Like,
that's true.
I adored my ex-sister-in-law, you know, like, that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Like, about you, that was kind of my lesson. I was like, I love Shayna, but that does not mean he's okay.
Exactly.
You know? And so, anyway, and then
so then you're dealing with that. I remember your brother talking about he Googled me and pulled up my mugshot and is calling your dad going like,
you had a
who's this
mugshot?
guy? He was just in jail a couple years ago. And thankfully didn't realize actually there's 4 mugshots because I went to jail 4 times. But so anyway, so red flags.
Red flag. I called you.
From some parties.
I mean, do you think you could take the mugshot down? I mean, just.
You called me.
I called you. Yeah. And
said,
I was like, could you?
Now that we're dating, could you just take the mugshot down?
And you were like, oh no, why would I? And he's like, you were like, it's not true. And that like shifted everything for me. Cause I was like, you didn't care about what people thought because it wasn't true.
Right.
Like
what I was accused of wasn't true. But I did go to jail and it's just my story.
It's just your story.
I'm not ashamed
like the
of
fact
it.
that you didn't, I don't know. It really spoke to me. I was like, huh. And I shouldn't care either. Like it's just a picture of, and it's not true. But then I did have a sweet, sweet friend who was had also gone through divorce. She asked if she could meet me for coffee, and I was like, absolutely. So we went and had coffee, and she's like, hey, I heard you're dating Jeremy Simmons, and this girl was like an older sister figure to me, like loving, taking care of me, looking out for me.
You love her, you trust her.
Yes, 100%. So it's all in good light, but. She sat me down and was like, well, Lacey, there has been a lot of bad things going on with him. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like,
which, hold on, let's clarify. I'd already told you everything I've been accused of in gory details. So
yeah, you have boxes of all your files.
Yeah, like it was always an open book about all this. But go ahead.
I appreciate. So she sat me down and she's like, Lacey, you need to know some things about him. And I was like, what? She was like, he sells himself on Craigslist. And I said, I burst out laughing because I already knew it wasn't true. And I felt bad for laughing, but I was like, that's not true, actually. And she's like.
So guys, let me just clarify what that means to my own humiliation. Is that I was literally investigated for hypothetically selling my body on Craigslist, like prostituting.
I don't think you need to do that anyway.
Listen, I appreciate. Ultimately, that was the biggest insult. I was like, do they think that if I have a need in that way,
right?
I'm going to go to Craigslist.
That's not the route you're going to go. No.
Anyway,
so totally out of left field. Anyways,
but so literally, you have a concerned friend you've known your whole life sit you down to say.
And that's just one of the many.
But let me just say this though, but babe. The fact that, one, even though you knew it wasn't true, you still have to digest the fact that other people think that might be true and that this is the man you're choosing to date.
Yeah.
So like, wow.
Yeah.
Right?
I still was trying to figure all this out.
But I had settled in my heart because I knew my story was messy at that point. And I had this peace where I just like, well, God, when you bring me the right woman, she's going to be able to handle my story. And she's going to be able to handle all of that. And so.
And also, we both had gone to the same counselor for years.
Yes. Oh, wait. So this is wild. So the same therapist, I'm going to say his name, Don Richards, Trinity. He's amazing if you can get in with him. But Don walked me through every iota of my story, every moment, every minute. I mean, it was weekly. I was there some months.
Yeah.
Just kind of pouring out my story to him. And so
he also knew my story.
And then he also walked Lacey through her story. So he knew both of our stories really well. And me, he literally, this man.
That's just like the biggest kiss from God.
No kidding.
Just like that. Just
of the thousands of therapists that are in Birmingham, Alabama.
That he knew both of our stories.
And so anyway, so we figured that out. And I said, listen, you can go to Don Richards and I give you permission. You can ask him to tell you. He literally knows every dirty, horrible secret of my life. Like he knows everything about me. And he can be fully transparent with you. So
I did. So I scheduled an appointment with Don and I was like, I know there's like HIPAA, you can't like say anything. I was like, but I was about to tell him about, dating and then we're now talking. And I was like, but if you give me like a little wink or nod or a no or just something, I'm going to end this immediately and walk the other way. I just need I need a little clarification on which direction I should go. Yeah. And he just smiled, with this like.
Didn't you ask him? I thought I may be wrong. I thought you said you asked him if your daughter.
That's right. I said, it's like, would you allow your daughter to marry him or date him? or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
is this, wait, no, we're not in the marrying
Well, you
phase
talking
yet.
marriage already? Baby.
No. But it was like,
baby.
would
knew.
you let her, I mean, would you let that happen with your
Yeah.
daughter? You know? And he just smiled and it was like, basically, because my family was so protective.
Yeah.
I mean, I was to the point, again, back to me making my own decisions. I didn't really want to go to, I didn't want to talk about much of these decisions. I wanted this next one to be on my own, not hyper spiritualized, more like factual, kind of like the first.
You want to be calculated in this decision.
There's like some practical, just wisdom with building a relationship with somebody. Like, who are their friends? Who are they associated with? And like, it's not just, I feel like the first marriage was just almost like this hyper spiritualized love bomb romance thing, whatever. And this one was more like, I need to make some wise decisions in this next, like, just with practical wisdom on where we are in life. And so all your messiness didn't help. So it's like, okay, this seems absolutely crazy. But
there's two things. You wanted to make the decision yourself. You didn't want to be highly influenced by people around you.
Yeah.
And then, but two, you wanted to evaluate the practical factors around what you thought would make that a good decision.
Yeah.
So
once I got that kind of nod or whatever from Don, I felt a lot. I felt like a weight off. I was like, okay, you know, I can keep moving forward. Like getting to know you and whatever that looked like.
And I feel like I kind of navigated the hurdle with your parents a little bit, which your parents are amazing. I adore them. I think they adore me. we love each other. But early on, of course, they're protective. Dear God, they just watched you walk through a horrific marriage, on and off and on, then a divorce, and they're thinking, we never want that to happen to her again. Yeah. So who is this guy with this messy divorce story? And but this is where God is so kind, because I kept thinking, okay, how am I going to overcome this? It's my job to overcome this with your parents.
Yeah.
And it turns out your parents were leading a Bible study at the time, hosting it at their home. And there were two men in that study that, independent of each other and independent of me, I had no idea any of this was going on, pulled him aside. And one guy said, hey, I just want you to know that I've known Jeremy for years. I've known his parents for years. I know all about his messy divorce story. And you just need to know that none of it's true. He's an amazing guy.
I know. And that was another kiss from God. For me too.
A week or two later, there's a lawyer there who had represented a very, very high profile individual who was pulled into my divorce case to testify. And he said, look, I represented so-and-so who is just a high profile, very well-respected person in the city of Birmingham and really kind of nationally. And he said, and we had in-depth conversations. I sat through his deposition and he speaks so highly of this young man. None of the accusations are true. And so your dad just got this kind of vote of confidence from two men that he respected outside of any influence from me, which was so, so great. Now, I did still meet with him to talk about dating. And once we were dating a little bit, we sat in his study and he was nervous and kind of anxious. And he said, well, Jeremy, I mean, I feel like she just got divorced and do you just, can you see him doing this while I'm like impersonating, do you think you could just like give her some time? And I was like, Doc, I call him Doc. He's a physician. I said, Doc, what do you expect me to do? Be like, hey, you just go date for a year, maybe fall in love with somebody else, and I'll follow up with you when the timing's better. I was like, I don't know how to do this without it being messy, but all I know is I want to pursue your daughter. Yeah. And he said, I can't argue with that. Okay. So I got a reluctant vote of approval for me to date you from your dad. And so let's talk about, okay, I really want to kind of start closing this out, just talking about what it's been like to merge. And there's no good term for this. It's like merging sounds like a business transaction. Yeah. Blending sounds like you're chopping a bunch of things up and destroying them to make them get together. Brady bunching, I don't know what the right verb is, but we always say blending. Or we always say merging. So merging families, let's talk about the first time we introduced each other to our kids. Oh yeah. Okay. So we were very slow in that, by the way. We really took our time, and I think that's good advice to y'all out there. Like it's never going to be easy for your child to be introduced to someone that you're dating, but just be really, really cautious on the timing of that, because once kids get involved, and then especially once kids' hearts get involved, things get really, really sticky really fast. And so I think another Don Richards wisdom, he said you're never going to regret going too slow.
Yeah.
But you might regret going too fast.
That was such
So we tell people this all the time.
Yeah.
You're never going to regret moving too slow. So pace is your friend. He said pace is your friend. So we really paced that out. So the first day I came over to pick you up from a date, and I was going to meet the boys this day.
Yeah.
I come inside and I walk up to the top of the stairs, and Ford is, I don't know how old he was. I mean, this is 7 years ago.
5 or 6?
Yeah, 7 years. He's like 7.
7?
6 or 7. And I get to the top of the stairs. This is a long hallway. And he comes out of a room and starts running towards me down the hallway. And the kid never stops smiling.
Yeah.
He's always, he's huge. I didn't know that about him. Yeah. Huge grin on his face. I thought it was like a warm acceptance of me, but he just smiles even when he cries. So he's just normal resting smiley face. Running full speed. And I think I had something in my hand. I sat down, I put my arms out and kind of crouched down. I'm like, this is magic. Like, this is a moment right here. He's about to just jump up in my arms. Like, I'm already like, Dad, this is unbelievable. Runs up and just kicks me between the legs as hard as humanly possible. Drops me to my knees.
True story.
And y'all, I'm a girl dad. Never have I ever been kicked in the crotch by a child. Just hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
Drives me to my knees. I mean, I feel like I'm about to throw up. And that was my introduction. But he died laughing and just ran off.
Yep.
That was my moment. Now let's talk about your moment. I don't remember if it was before or after, but we were at my friend Jason's house hanging out on the porch, and the girls were there.
I was so nervous.
And you were sitting in my lap.
I was.
So.
And then, and Shiloh walked up.
So Shiloh walks up, and she's my feisty second born. I love her.
How old was she? She was probably 9.
She was younger than that. She's probably 8. No, she's probably 9.
9.
Probably 9, 8 or 9. Maybe 9. Doesn't matter. But she's my girl that she always says exactly what she's thinking. Mm-hmm. She's very direct. And she walks,
such a good quality.
She walks right up and says, "What?
You're in my spot."
You're in my spot. And
I was like,
you're saying it with you said it with a smile on her face. There was not a she cut her eyes at her and said, "You are in my spot."
I know.
My spot. And then I was in this weird position of like, do I throw Lacey off the balcony of the deck, off my lap? Like, do I just grab a shot? Like, well, what do I do? But I don't want to let my 9-year-old control the situation. And so the choice I made, I just called me and said, like, well, baby, she's going to sit here right now. Yes, this is your spot, but she's going to sit here right now. And so the girls were just, were protective.
You had 3 little wives.
I had 3 wives for a long time.
I was your girlfriend at the time, whatever.
And they were, and I was their whole world. Yeah. They were my whole world. And so there was this new player in the mix, this new factor in the mix that they had to try to figure out what they were going to do with. And so anyway, so it just that process, even dating, pulling the kids together, getting them comfortable playing together. Yeah. The boys were younger, so it was easier with them. But with the girls, it was complicated because they wanted me to themselves.
Yeah.
And again, it was one of those things, kind of like you making the decision to leave. I had to make a decision about what was best for their future and our collective future, whether they understood that or not. Because at the time, they probably would have said, Dad, can it just be us forever?
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
And I had to realize, like, no, they needed another mother figure in their lives. And I knew that they would have a better father that's a married father, you know? And I wanted them to see me love a woman and a woman love me.
See a marriage.
So see a marriage. We wanted to model a marriage.
Yeah.
And selfishly, I wanted love. Yeah. And I wanted you. Mm. So, okay. So when did you know you wanted to marry me?
I don't.
This is such a self-serving question.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there was like some aha moment, you know what I mean? But it was just like, again, it was pace. It was a slow, just like crescendo of growing into love and just seeing that so much aligned right, just spiritually, emotionally,
I like it. The gradual crescendo. It was just a gradual.
Yeah.
It just kept making sense.
Yeah. It was just good. Its goodness kept going, you know. But I don't know if there was like some like, first marriage was like this aha moment type thing. So it's the second time I was like, this is just going to be a pace and grow. But we just really grew to know each other. And then with our divorce schedules, you know, the boys are with their dad sometimes. So we always had a date night. Like, it's as messy as divorce is, there's a nice that you have on the other end, on the other side, like these nights that you can get to know somebody with a date night.
There's margin there to date and feel things out.
Because I mean, most families blend, you know, normal families, it's just hard to even find that time and get out of the house together, you know.
Yeah.
But that's where you just gotta find your wins when you're alone, talking to single moms. Like, you know, just find that, you know, go treat yourself, you know, when you're alone, when your kids are not with you. It's okay to go get a manicure, pedicure, go on a date, and because it's so hard to be away from the kids. But yeah, so we were able to get to know each other, and it just was a gradual falling in love, truly.
I knew really early.
Yeah.
I think I hoped really early.
Yeah.
And then I think when we really started texting a lot, I just had this deep knowing, this peace.
I agree.
It had to, we had to wait and let it mature with time and evolve like it needed to. But I just knew.
Yeah.
And
we had the hump of trying to figure out like the practical things. Well, if we do continue this, like we got these kids in different school systems.
Yeah, you figure out where we're going to live. I lived in Homewood.
Does this align in our path, you know? And
And all that was, we had hard conversations trying to figure, I didn't want to move to Mountain Brook. No. Turns out it's been an amazing blessing. I love living here, but I adamantly didn't want to live in Mountain Brook. And so finally I said, hey, if you tell me that I don't have to live here forever, as long as it's not like, which by the way, y'all, I have to live here forever. but she did a great job of convincing me. She like crossed her fingers behind her back.
Like,
and so,
no big deal. I know this is not gonna be an issue.
You don't have to live here forever. And so, you know, so we got over some of those hurdles, like where are the kids going to go to school and how we're going to raise them. And then I ended up, while we were still dating, we weren't engaged yet, ended up getting custody of the girls.
Yeah.
So the thing just kept evolving and changing. The dynamics grew. And, but ultimately I put a ring on it.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do remember the moment, which I don't know when this lined up, but removing my ring, the first ring, you know, that took months for me to do, even though I was the one who filed, but like just making that shift, it's just not a light decision. And, but yeah, there was a moment where I knew that some scripture came to me, whatever. And I just knew it was like, it's time to remove my ring. You know?
I did the same thing. I wore mine for a really long time.
And so once that was removed and it was like, okay, then I'm moving forward. But I think I had a deep peace too.
Early on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's kind of, I'm going to quote Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
When he was talking about Russia during the Cold War. He said, we trust you, but we're going to verify.
Yeah.
Because they're saying, we don't have nukes, or we don't have this, we don't have that. He said, I completely trust you, but we're going to verify.
Yeah.
So there's like trust the peace, but verify.
Yeah.
I think is a powerful way to live life. So I had a peace you had a peace, we followed it, but we took time, we paced things to verify that peace was valid.
And you were so good to me during that time. It's kind of like, because you had kind of already gone through your divorce and your pain, but like walking through just all the divorce stuff, like helping me emotionally get to, you know, I had deep trauma, like issues that I needed to work through. And especially before getting into, you know, another relationship, but you really helped me process all that really well and work through it emotionally. And just you were always a listening ear and always gave me like good advice and good wisdom, like which I just never had before.
Yeah.
So it was just like I don't know. It was a newfound love for me.
Yeah. I feel like you'd never been loved before.
Yeah.
Like that's when we first started dating, it was like this woman is never, and I don't mean that as a slight against your ex-husband.
Just I didn't know the difference.
You had never received just love. Like just and you know, my dad, I'm gonna cry to say this. My dad, when I was a kid, like a teenager, he used to tell me, he said, Jeremy, you got one job in this life. You have one job, and it's to see how much love one woman can absorb.
You do a pretty good job.
Well,
so anyways,
well,
it's like it's too sappy.
Was that over the line? Was that too much?
No, it's good.
No, but like I just so grateful to be able to love you. So,
hey, so my love grew for you through you coming alongside me with that.
Yeah,
and like I don't know.
Well, so fast forward a little bit. We get married, right? Mm-hmm. And we merge this thing.
Yeah.
5 kids, and I've got a new career. I'm not a contractor anymore, so I'm really focused at my new gig, just trying to be the best kind of number 2 guy at this company that I can be. And you're at home still painting, carting all the kids around.
No more Talita.
No more Talita. Talita's out. We didn't have space. Sorry, Talita.
She's here, but she
got the boot from the house because there's no space, and her contract was up, and so we entered the chaos and the beauty of this kind of merged dynamic that we have, and I want to talk about partnership because I feel like that's the word we always come back to.
Yeah.
That neither of us ever felt that we really had in our first marriage. It was like a true partner. And so I can speak for me, especially as a man and the primary provider, I'd never experienced having someone fully believe in me, fully back me, and say, hey, go get after it. Go build something, baby. Like, I got you. And I want to say thank you because you did that once already and you got burned.
Yeah.
And you spent years doing that and it didn't work out. And yet you still had the faith, you still had the integrity to go, I'm going to do this again with this man. And I'm going to believe him that he's going to build something that can take care of us. And because initially that wasn't a guarantee. Like, we were okay, but there was no guaranteed bright financial future for us. It's kind of like, okay, we're going to pull ourselves up together collectively by our bootstraps, and we're going to make this work. And the way that my career has flourished in recent years, I really give credit to you because I couldn't have done it without you backing me and believing in me, and saying, hey, I got things at home. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to get 5 kids to 5 different events, 5 days a week. You got to work late. You got to take care of what you got to take care of. And so, thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So
I'm proud of you.
What's partnership been like? Like, what's your experience been like? And the reason I'm putting all this out there, I'm not fishing for compliments for me.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to give someone out their vision.
Yeah.
Who is dream. Maybe you're walking through a divorce, you're on the other side of a divorce, but you haven't found your person yet. I want to give you vision for what it could look like. Not that our scenario is perfect or the only way, but we can speak candidly and intelligently to kind of what our experience has been. So,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're such a present father, such a present husband. I always missed or wanted like couple friends and to travel with my husband and to just be in a relationship, be in a marriage. And I think that ultimately is what we have now.
Yeah.
Just a marriage.
Yeah.
And I just, which is such a gift.
Let's talk about sorry, go ahead.
We're just so present for the boys too. It's just,
I love them.
I'm just so grateful that they have such a spiritual mentor in their life.
I think this is an important thing to clarify too, that I would advise anyone that's about to, they're either in a marriage where you're raising someone else's kids or you're about to get married to someone that's in your future potentially, is when you step into that relationship, it always has to be our kids,
Yeah.
not your kids.
That was credit
in
to
my-
you. You
well,
said that at the beginning of when we married.
I'm sure some wise person gave that to me, but we've always approached it. And now there's days where I'm in a bad place. I'm like, well, your kids just, and there's days where she's done that with me. But we always come back to this baseline of like, no, it's our kids. These are my boys. Those are your girls. And
it can be awkward, like, the whole blending thing. It's just, yours or ours, or, it's like,
well, it gets weird. Then
we're claiming all of them.
Yeah,
and we are the ones responsible for these children.
Thank you. We're claiming them without any expectation from the exes. Meaning, like, if I provide something for my boys that their birth father didn't provide or couldn't provide, I'm not going to resent Lacey or him or the boys for that. Because this is what I chose.
You make that choice at the very beginning.
Yes, I'm doing this with all of my heart. So whether it's costing me time or money or energy, like, it's no. I chose this, and I'm going to do it wholeheartedly. Yeah. And I feel like you've done the same thing with the girls because guarantee you it's coming. That person's children that you've said you're going to take care of are going to cost you in a way, in some area, they're going to cost you in a way you didn't see coming. Yep. And it's going to be hard to pill to swallow. And sometimes it can feel like, hey, I'm going to do this for my husband's child, and I'm not even doing that for my own child. Yeah. What if my own child doesn't get the experience or the thing or the, the attention or the time that child is, I'm giving that child now. And so somehow you just have to embrace it as it's ours. It's not yours and mine. And
that was, the best advice that we got at the beginning, or that you said. I don't remember how it came, but
well, I don't need credit. Whoever it came from, that. It's been a really, really important for us. So 6.5 years later, I wrote some of this down. Yeah, we've got a kid in college, which is wild. I know. I'm moving her in tomorrow. We have a sophomore at Auburn. Yeah. So kid in college, one in high school, both of them driving. Our house looks like a used auto lot. One in junior high and two in elementary school. We've in 6.5 years, we've done one major house renovation. We've totaled 4 cars. Yeah. The collective we, it may or may not have involved some of our lovely offspring. And we've visited 12 countries together.
We have traveled.
We've traveled. And the side note on that, this is what's hard about a hard part of merging is that you're trying to be a newlywed. You're trying to establish a relationship while at the same time
take care of all
these kids. Yeah. So this is why we leave town once a quarter. And honestly, we've mastered points. We've mastered traveling on a dime. Lacey is amazing at traveling on a budget, finding a good deal. We find a way to get away for a few days, at least once a quarter, just to be with us, to establish that, hey, the centerpiece of this home is our marriage. So we're going to invest in that. So that's definitely been a huge part of our life. So 12 countries later. Yeah, crazy. And we're still together. So, maybe the travel's the secret. We're going to keep traveling. We've had multiple court appearances for just 2 different custody cases, thousands of dollars in attorney fees for battling for our kids. We've had one major career shift that has ended up being really fruitful so far with the support of my partner. And ultimately, life has been more expensive, more eventful, and more unpredictable than we could have ever imagined. But God has been beyond faithful. Yeah.
It's plan A, It's like these kids are supposed to be here. We're supposed to be together. I just don't think it was his plan the whole time.
My mom.
I really truly feel like I found my soulmate, but I had to go through a lot, and you had to go through a lot to get there. Yeah. It's
sometimes we grab each other. We're like, where have you been? Yeah. Where have you been my whole life?
My young prayers are like, Lord, I want to know you more. I want to, see your provision. I want to see your redemption. It's like, so now we are redeemed. Our marriage is such a redemptive story, which is wonderful. But you don't see redemption unless you go through a lot of really hard stuff. Yeah. And you got to die to a lot of stuff. You don't see grace if you don't do something really bad to receive the grace. You know, it's like they're elements of the nature and the heart of God
that can only be experienced on the other side of really, really hard things. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't meet you when I was 20 because I might have screwed it up.
Yeah.
Like I might have put you through.
I'm glad I met you on the other side too.
Yeah. It just took me a second, but I think that was a slight dig on my 20-year-old self. That threw me off. But hey, valid, baby. So I want to end with this. So if you're watching and you are in a season of just surviving, I want you to know that not too long ago, I was there. Not too long ago, Lacey was there. And so Lacey, if you could say something to that person, what would you say?
Oh, goodness. I just think it's just a complete surrender. It's just a dying to yourself and then watching him fill in the gaps. And again, back to that being in that place of rest. But I remember I painted something when I was pregnant and in that really hard season of time. And I was like, it was just this person with his hands open. And that's just truly what I felt like. I was like, none of this is in my hands. My babies are not in my hands.
Yeah.
You know, like this is all out of my control. Like I have absolutely no control. I thought I did everything right, you know, growing up. You know, I did all things right. And then it ends in this. This is what you do, you know? So, but yeah, I think I ultimately was just like, God, I don't know. And so I'm just.
And surrender's a daily thing.
It's a daily thing.
It's a daily choice. Because I can be surrendered today and tomorrow pick back up all of my control issues, all of my entitlement, and try to drive my life again. Yeah. But there's something about, to your point, we don't stop hustling. You don't stop stewarding. It's more about stewardship than it is hustle.
Yeah.
But there's always effort there and stewarding what's in front of us. But there is just this kind of underlying position of humility and surrender. Just says, I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know what today holds, but I'm trusting you, God, and I'm going to do my best with it. I'm going to drop some balls.
Yeah.
And I might do some good things today. And tomorrow I'm going to start all over again from the same position.
Yeah. And, you know, I remember even going through like the legal stuff with custody, and I was like, God, I don't even know what to ask for, you know? Yeah. And I just kept picturing like, you know, I'm the umbrella over my little children, but then he's the umbrella over me. It's like this trickle effect. And it's like, if you care about them, you love these babies, you know? So I deep down know, like you're going to provide for me, which is also going to provide for them. There's almost more provision that's going to happen because there's just more people under me, you know? And I just had to just trust that, that was the case, and watch him fill in the gaps. And honestly, those years of quote, being poor or whatever, and those hard times is really, if you kind of have your eyes open, you can really watch the Lord fill in all those gaps, and it builds your faith. And so, you know, that provision is like such a vaulted truth in my heart. Like, I don't think anything can shake that for me. It's like, that's just not going to go anywhere.
Well, everybody watching or listening, just know that we both lost marriage and lost first loves, but gained back an even greater marriage and a greater love. We both have been extremely poor, and now are no longer. We have had to give up our kids, and we gained them back, and this pattern continues to repeat itself. Not because we're special, not because we're lucky, but because I believe just because God loves us. And I believe that he deeply desires to show himself that way in all of his kids' lives. So, Lacey, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. And
thanks to everyone else for joining us. We'll catch you next time. God bless.